Hi, I'm Mike Moon, State Representative for Lawrence County, Missouri. And I came across a story recently that was presented by a man who was a youngster during the Holocaust, and I'd like to read a portion of that to you. In his words, he said, "I lived in Germany during the Nazi Holocaust. I considered myself a Christian. I attended church since I was a small boy. We had heard the stories of what was happening to the Jews, but like most people today in this country, we tried to distance ourselves from the reality of what was really taking place. What could anyone do to stop it? A railroad track ran behind our small church, and each Sunday morning we would hear the whistle from a distance, and then the clacking of the wheels moving over the tracks. We became disturbed when one Sunday we noticed cries coming from the train as it passed by. We grimly realized that the train was carrying Jews. They were like cattle in those cars. Week after week that train whistle would blow. We would dread to hear the sounds of those old wheels because we knew that the Jews would begin to cry out as they passed the church. It was so terribly disturbing. We could do nothing to help those poor, miserable people, yet their screams tormented us. We knew exactly at what time that whistle would blow, and we decided the only way to keep from being so disturbed by the cries was to start singing our hymns. By the time that train came rumbling past the churchyard, we were singing at the tops of our voices. If some of the screams reached our ears, we'd just sing a little louder until we could hear them no more. Years have passed, and no one talks about it much anymore, but I still hear that train whistle in my sleep. I can still hear them crying out for help. God forgive all of us who called ourselves Christians, yet did nothing to intervene. And 71 years is still happening. Only this time it's taking place in America. Somehow, we've allowed ourselves to ignore the silent screams of millions of unborn boys and girls. And it's time to put an end to that killing. It's time to end the murder of millions of innocent children. Try to imagine how the German people could have stood by and allowed the murder of millions of people during the Second World War. That behavior can only take place when you determine in your mind that either it's not happening, or that those that are being killed are not human. This is exactly where we are today in America. We've collectively determined that the unborn child is not a human being. All the while we're comfortable in our beautiful churches, we listen to the preaching, we sing songs, and yes, we sing loud. But let's not turn a deaf ear to the legal murder of future generations. Babies are being murdered in America, and their organs are harvested and sold for medical experimentation. It's time to stop the killing. And that time is now.